Here I am. Looking ahead, I see the endless possibilities. Nothing to fear. My dreams and hopes begin to beckon to me. A million voices call, a million paths at my feet. My courage grows as I begin to see what I can be. I will make each moment count as I step into the story of my life. Here I am.
I was born on January 27th, 2000. Not long after I was born, I became a victim of my dad's sexual abuse. When I was 12, my dad was tried at the Kent Regional Justice Center in Kent, Washington for the crimes he committed against me. He waived his right to a jury, and so the trial was an evidentiary bench trial. This means the trial only involved the evidence in the case and the judge. The prosecutors brought no evidence to the trial whatsoever, and my dad walked free. After my dad walked free, KOMO 4 News shared my story. I was able to share my thoughts about him on KOMO 4 News.
A local father carried a dark secret for years until he decided to confess his crimes.
Bit by bit, he admitted on tape to molesting a young child.
His confession was so convincing, the prosecutor charged him.
But what happened next sent a family into a tailspin. KOMO 4's Molly Shen asks, where is justice for Bella?
Bella was a rosy-cheeked, bright-eyed baby. Like all children, before she could form words, she showed her joy in her smile and her frustration in her cries. But Bella had more to tell than she could express.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Sitting here.
Her story came out years later in tape-recorded conversations between her parents.
Well, how many times did you put her on your lap and masturbate while she was sitting naked on your lap?
Oh, no, I don't remember, but it's probably somewhere between 5 and 10 times.
Jason Sherwood confessed on tape to molesting his daughter.
She was in the bathtub, I'd give her a bath, and I'd touch her, and I'd, beam her down there next to the bath, and I'd masturbate.
Were you stimulating her?
Mm-hmm.
This is a really long, twisted story.
Now 12 years old, Bella asked us to show her face and explain what happened. She knows she did nothing wrong and is not ashamed. When Bella was 1, her mother walked in as her father was supposed to be giving her a bath, but he was sitting, pants down, holding Bella.
I got on to him, I said, what are you doing? And then he said I had to go to the bathroom, so I sat down. I was shaking, and I just felt really strange and scared, but the thought of him molesting our baby never crossed my mind at that time.
It wasn't until years later, when Susan and Jason were divorcing and trying to hash out their problems in a unique way, that she says the truth came to light.
And we would talk, and I was very confused, and I think he was dealing with a lot of denial, so we started using the tape recorder and we started taping our conversations.
Those tapes
You've confessed to molesting children. You've confessed in court.
Led King County prosecutors to charge Sherwood with child molestation in 2011.
Why won't you see justice is done? Why won't you?
But Jason Sherwood was not convicted of a crime. After a short bench trial this year, Superior Court Judge Beth Andrus wrote in her decision, "It does seem odd that when a man confesses to molesting his child, a court might not find him guilty of such a heinous crime." But his confession alone wasn't enough. Without more evidence, Judge Andrus said she had to throw out the charges. In Latin, it's called corpus delicti and translates to body of the crime. It is the proof that a crime occurred.
It doesn't even have to be physical evidence. It can be other corroborating evidence, testimony by eyewitnesses and things like that.
Susan believes prosecutors bungled the case because they didn't pull a doctor's report from the time of the alleged abuse. The doctor made note of a rash, wrote a prescription to treat an infection, and asked if it was possible that Bella was being sexually abused. Susan testified about that doctor's visit, but the prosecutor never pulled the report or called a medical expert to talk about it. That surprised 3 attorneys who reviewed the case for the Problem Solvers. Each has a working relationship with King County prosecutors and wouldn't go on camera, but one told me prosecutors botched it up. Another said they needed independent third-party evidence. They had it and didn't use it. But prosecutors insist the medical report wouldn't have made a difference.
Having a doctor's signature on a piece of paper saying, I saw a child's redness to their genital area, and then having the mom saying the exact same thing when no one's contesting it is, overkill.
Jason Sherwood walked out of the courtroom a free man, unhindered by these words from the judge. The court does not find that Mr. Sherwood is innocent of the charged crime, and neither he nor anyone else should interpret this decision as an exoneration.
And I've made some very, very bad choices in my life.
When he made those tapes years ago, Jason Sherwood tearfully apologized to his children.
But then I am just so sorry.
He did not and has not won their forgiveness. Bella recently confronted her dad.
Well, I said, how could you ever have loved any of us? And he said that I loved you guys very much. Sometimes my actions didn't show it, but I loved you guys very much, and I still do. And I personally think that that's really untrue, because if his actions are saying differently, he can't really love us.
After asking him questions and writing down his answers, Bella said she is now done with her father.
And it's been hard for me to look at her beautiful baby pictures and not just see sadness and see a little victim. Seeing her muster the courage to talk to her father, I see a little survivor now.
A survivor who wants her story known, who hopes for no more victims. Jason Sherwood is free, but so is Bella.
I'm so proud of her. She's a brave little girl.
Molly Shen, KOMO 4 News.
Jason Sherwood has limited visitation rights with Bella and is only supposed to see her if they're in therapy together. Bella's mother, Susan, tells KOMO 4 he is now asking to start that therapeutic visitation.
I found this on YouTube. It shows just how mad people are that a man who confesses to child molestation can walk out of court a free man. FYI, the language is bad in this video.
What's up, nation? How you guys doing today? Just got through watching a crazy article that just goes to show that in some parts of the country that our justice system is just completely up. Yeah, I said it. Some dude confessed to raping, molesting his child. Confessed on a tape recorder to his wife. You know what I'm saying? And the case got threw out. He didn't get no jail time. He confessed. And then the killer part about this happened when she was like, you see how little she was. She was an infant. I don't know how old she was, but fact of the matter is, he did it, and he said he did it, and he got let free. That just shows our justice system is full of Don't you know how many pedophiles be happy when they see They do. Like, man, this just makes me so mad. This girl, she's 12 now. I believe she's 12 or 15, one of the two. She's grown. She showed her face on camera. I want to say, sweetheart, if you ever see this video, this is not your fault. Like you said, I'm happy you look stable. I'm happy none of this stuff is affecting you right now. I know it can be traumatizing at times, but you're a decent human being. It is not your fault what your dad did. The justice system did. Oh, you want to know some killer stuff about this? Prosecutors weren't doing their job at all, because when the baby was took in when she was younger for some infection or something like that, the doctors had asked the parents, is there any possibility that she could be sexually molested or touched or whatever? And you know, the mom, she didn't know at the time or whatever, which I don't understand how as a mom or a parent, you don't know if something's happening to your child. Where's your communication skills? How involved are you in with your kids if you don't know what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like real talk, you know. But anyways, the doctors asked that, and it was not brought up in court. That type of stuff really bothers me a lot because it makes you want to take the law into your own hands. If something crazy happened to you, how are we supposed to trust and depend in the justice system when we see like this happening every other day, pretty much? I just talked about some dude who got his daughter pregnant and got a year in jail and he's scot-free, but this dude right here was molesting his child. He used to molest her when he put her in a tub. He used to just molest her. Like, if you link to the description box, just check it out for yourself. If you're not gonna get angry like me, I advise. If you're gonna get angry like me, I advise you not to watch it because it bothers me. I don't even know these people, but it just makes me sick to my stomach that a grown human being man could do something like that to a child. You a you know what I'm saying? If you do something like that, you a and you a punk and you ain't got no soul and no heart for doing something like that to a human being. I don't care if you rape a woman. That bothers me so much. So if I was a prosecutor, that's all you will hear in the courtroom. We lost this case, but this lost a lot of teeth and he can't hear on this side. I'm out deuces.
After my dad was charged of first-degree child molestation, he threatened my mom, saying he was going to modify child support because she was working with the prosecutors on the criminal case. Then he did. He took her to trial in March 2011, but the judge didn't change my child support. Because the judge didn't modify the child support, he asked for a revision of the trial. The revision led to an investigative hearing in October 2012. The judge still didn't modify my child support. My dad made a motion to have the judge's decision about my child support reconsidered, but the judge made no changes. After the news story aired, my dad said that because my mom let me talk to the media that he should be able to modify my child support. He took my mom to another trial in April 2012. The judge still didn't modify my child support, and now my dad is asking for a revision of that trial. And all of a sudden, despite taped confessions and face-to-face confessions to many others, including me, he's saying that he never molested me and shouldn't have to pay for my counseling expenses. Because of all these motions, my family has been financially affected. My mom has used all of her paid days off work to travel to Washington to fight for my child support. Once all of these days were used up, she was docked pay for going to the trials and defending my child support. This has all stressed my mom out very much, and we've been getting eviction notices because my mom had to pay the court-ordered guardian ad litem and couldn't pay the rent. I have a vision for justice. First, I would like to start a campaign called Shift the Shame. This campaign will raise public awareness of child sexual abuse and how sex abuse cases are handled in our criminal and family law courts. The tragedy of our criminal justice system is that it is unable to protect our youngest and most vulnerable victims. If the child is too young to be a reliable witness in court, charges are not even pressed against the abuser. My dad had many victims in the state of Arizona. The youngest victim was a newborn baby. Because his victims were babies, no charges were pressed against him for these crimes. Shift the Shame would raise public awareness through marathon walks and runs, public rallies, and benefit concerts. Shift the Shame will also help victims of child sexual abuse pay for counseling expenses. I've opened a fund called the Bailey Fund to finance the goals of a Shift the Shame campaign. I have asked the City of Chandler for help with the Bailey Fund. The City of Chandler will reach out to the Gila River Casino for charitable grant money that will go into the Bailey Fund. I would also like to ask for donations from the public. These donations will help to create new laws in our family and criminal courts. This is my journey for justice. Thank you for listening. Please join me on my journey by supporting my Shift the Shame campaign and donating to the Bailey Fund. Together we can make a difference. Together we can bring justice to victims of child sex abuse.
Take my hand, walk this path with me. One step at a time till the journey's complete. Just one step, steady, strong, and true. One step of faith will lead me closer to you. Just one step, steady, strong, and true. One step of faith will lead me closer to you. Here I am.